Men are done with dating in 2025. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Before the video starts, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like and subscribe, and please leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. And hop into my community Discord server. The link is in the description. Alright guys, time to get serious for this video. I must preface this video before we get into it. I know this doesn't affect all men, but it affects a large majority of us, myself included. Men are done with the dating market of 2025. And I can tell you right now guys, it doesn't seem to be getting any better. In fact, it actually seems to be getting worse. Why are men done with dating in 2025? Well, there's a lot of different answers that can actually go into it, but let's just cover the major ones and then dive deeper into those points, okay? Why are some men saying it's not worth it? Well, for one, there's changing expectations. Some feel modern dating comes with high financial, emotional, and lifestyle expectations that men struggle to meet. Well, I'll be entirely honest, guys. That might be because the economy is just in the gutter right now. I don't want to have to try and take care of somebody when the economy is struggling so much so that I don't even want to go out and get a job because it doesn't feel like there's any incentive to go and work right now. I can't get ahead in terms of getting money. I can't get a house because, well, the housing market is at an all-time fucking high. Seems like it's gonna crash. And overall, it just feels like everything is just out of reach. Not being able to start a family. Yeah, my motivation to do anything is just gone. Then you have dating app fatigue. Swiping culture, ghosting, and hookup-oriented platforms can feel shallow and discouraging. Fear of rejection or false accusations. A number of men express anxiety over misunderstandings in relationships or dating encounters. Focus on personal growth. Some men prefer to prioritize career, hobbies, travel, or fitness over relationships. That's probably to their benefit because honestly, the women nowadays, not all women, but majority of them, aren't even worth giving them the time of day to even have a relationship with because they come with default aggressiveness, they come with being combative, being snarky, being just overall ugly on the inside. They're not really pleasant to be around anymore. Divorce and financial risk. Men who have seen high-profile divorces or custody battles sometimes view marriage/dating as too risky. Those men are smart. They are realizing that the courts are rigged against them and they're staying away from it entirely. Good on you guys. You should continue to do that until the courts are actually waking up to the fact that women are weaponizing all of this shit against us. And then finally, we have the rise of alternative lifestyles. Some men have turned to friendships, online communities, or even AI companionship as substitutes for traditional dating. And I don't see this as a problem in any way, shape, or form because if I'll be entirely honest here, I'll be the asshole. If women actually wanted to be happy and actually wanted a good man, they would do the work to become a good woman who is deserving of that good man. Because I'm going to be entirely honest with you women. Good men come with rules, expectations, boundaries. Those three things you are not changing out of a good man, okay? A good man who knows his value is going to go where he is valued. So if you aren't keeping a guy around who has self-respect, that probably means you've beat him down so much that he doesn't have any respect for himself and he's just staying because that's all he knows. You ever think of that? Let's dive deeper, guys, because each one of these points has multiple layers that we can go into. So let's go with number one, the changing expectations. Many men feel modern dating has become more transactional. Some women expect financial security, ambitious career goals, emotional availability, and lifestyle compatibility all at once. And I can go further into that. Some of these women, genuinely, they want the authority of a man, the responsibility of a child, and the perks of being a woman. Social media often amplifies this by showing luxury lifestyles and ideal partners, which can make average men feel like they'll never measure up. And it's actually happening, guys. Average men just say fuck it. All of the women want to, bang the top 2% of dudes. So the top 2% of dudes are pumping and dumping all of these girls. And now the girls are saying, oh my god, all men are trash. All they want is one thing and it's disgusting. Yeah, it's wired in our biology. We all want one thing and that's pussy. We want pussy. We want pussy. We want sex because it's wired in our brains, in our biology, and in our DNA. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but biology outweighs your personal opinions, okay? Science will always outweigh your personal feelings. Ladies, the pressure to constantly prove your value can make dating feel like a never-ending job interview. Listen up, ladies. What I just said applies. You need to stop this. If I have to constantly prove to you that I'm valuable to keep around, then you weren't worth dating to me to begin with. Okay? You weren't worth the stress, you weren't worth the headaches, you weren't worth the arguments, any of that shit. Let's dive deeper into the dating app fatigue. Apps dominate the dating scene in 2025, and they're designed to maximize engagement, not meaningful connections. Men often complain about needing to send dozens or hundreds of messages just to get a single response. Ghosting, breadcrumbing, which is leading someone on with minimal effort, and superficial judgments based on looks alone leave many men feeling disposable. This leads to burnout and cynicism. Why invest emotionally if it feels like a numbers game? Which is entirely true, guys. I'm gonna be entirely honest with you. That is entirely true. Why invest when all the ladies want the top 2%? Let's dive deeper into the fear of rejection or false accusations. Rejection is a normal thing in dating, but the sheer frequency online can hit men hard, especially if it feels impersonal or harsh. On a more serious note, some men fear misunderstandings in relationships escalating, such as being accused of bad behavior even if intentions were good. In an era of heightened conversations about consent and accountability, many men feel like they're walking on eggshells, afraid one mistake could ruin them socially or professionally. Yes, we have all of this for men, but where is it for the abusive women? You know what, guys? Fuck it. I'm gonna mention my previous relationship. My previous relationship was with somebody who my therapist refers to as a reactive abuser. She would poke and prod at me and basically push me to my limits until I would snap and react in a negative way. Well, she would then play victim and start running to all of her friends, painting me in a light that looked bad, when in reality, she was the one that was pushing me to that point. Not only this, my ex, when I decided to fly out and visit her, long story short, guys, we were a long distance relationship. I flew out to visit her in Salt Lake City, Utah. While I was there was a situation that happened. The situation in question was she made fun of me and humiliated me in regards to my disability. And I'm gonna be entirely honest with you guys. I have a very good moral compass. Any person who would do such a thing to any person who has a disability and ridicule them, embarrass them, make fun of them in any way, shape, or form, you're just a shitty person, if I'm gonna be entirely honest with you. I'm not gonna go into detail as to what my disability is. If you're a close friend of mine or somebody who is very close to me, you already know what it is. It is something that I'm gonna hold close to my chest for the sake of keeping my medical information private and the fact that it is embarrassing to talk about on my behalf. My ex she treated me like shit after having to deal with my disability in person, okay? Ever since that point, anytime we had an argument or something, it was always like I would approach it in the best way I could. To give an example, I wanted her to come and visit me and visit my family. I would talk to her about getting those things in order to be able to do that. She would tell me that I'm trying to remove her from her support group, her support structure. That was not at all the case. I always told her that I just want you to come and visit my family. That is all. Focus on personal growth. Some men are choosing self-improvement over relationships, hitting the gym, building businesses, traveling, or pursuing hobbies. They view dating as a distraction or energy drain compared to chasing personal goals. This mindset is reinforced by communities online that promote independence, financial freedom, and leveling up before committing. They may re-enter the dating market later in life, but for now, they see more return on investment in themselves than in relationships. And I'm seeing this personally myself. I'm investing in myself. I started playing guitar again. I started, making more and more YouTube videos regularly. I'm happier. I don't have to deal with a constant headache of somebody who's constantly on their menstrual cycle wanting to run my ass over every morning just because they're in a mood swing. Hot take, ladies. There comes a certain point where your periods are no longer an excuse for treating people like shit. Okay? There comes a point where you've dealt with it for so long every month that anytime you get moody with a period in regards to me, I'll just look at you and be like, okay, you can just fuck off now. Because my take is you've dealt with this for so long, you should be able to control your emotions, your moods, and be able to act like a normal human being in the midst of dealing with all of this. Yeah, I know the pain might be a little too much from time to time. Okay? Now, where's the excuse of why that allows you to treat us like shit? I'll wait. I'll wait. Divorce and financial risk. Men who have seen friends, family, or celebrities lose wealth, assets, or custody in divorces sometimes grow weary of marriage. Oh no, we don't sometimes grow weary of marriage, guys. We just opt out entirely. I'm not marrying you if it means that you can just take half my shit because you decided to wake up on the wrong side of the bed that day. No. You're gonna sign a prenup and you're gonna tell the local courts you don't want any of my shit because you didn't have a hand in building it. I am of the belief that whatever I built and maintained, I keep, okay? Now, if it comes to children, it takes two to tango. Thus, courts should be telling both of the parents, figure out a way where this child can have both parents in the picture. And for the courts, I have to ask, can we start holding women accountable for lying in the court of law? Let's start by actually putting them in jail. Maybe the lies in court will die down. Also, let's get rid of family courts since all of the family courts want to just rule in favor of women all the time. Stories of unfair settlements or child support struggles circulate widely online, fueling a perception that the system is stacked against men. It's not a perception. It just is, okay? It's not a perception that the system is rigged against us. It just is. It is in favor of women. In fact, they want women to treat men like shit. How do I know? Feminism. Even if they want connection, they may view long-term commitments as high risk financially and emotionally. Let's dive deeper into the rise of alternative lifestyles. Not all men are giving up on connection. They're just seeking it differently. Online communities, gaming, and even AI chatbot companionship are filling the emotional gaps. Some men find friendships or male-only social circles more fulfilling and less stressful than dating. Others embrace the MGTOW, men going their own way movement, or similar philosophies that encourage living life without prioritizing women or relationships. And that's actually a positive mindset. You should never, ever prioritize anyone who hates you openly, talks about hating you openly, talks about not needing us openly. You don't need men? Okay. Hey men, I got an idea. How about we all collectively opt out of working in society for a solid week to a month and see how far it goes? You want your roads maintained? You want your bridges fixed? You want new skyscrapers and businesses to be built? That doesn't happen without men. Okay? Are we on the same page here? Because I'm starting to believe that this women hate men rhetoric is entirely the reason why men have opted out of the dating pool. Men have opted out of dating entirely because they are constantly being told they are hated, they're not needed, they're not wanted. Fine, I'll go my own way. But hey, ladies, when you hit 35 years old and the clock is still ticking down before your eggs are absolutely useless, your eggs die when you're like 35 plus years old, okay? We wonder why we see so many ugly, bitter women. It's because they're not fulfilled in life. They haven't had children. In conclusion, guys, the dating scene for men is stacked against us. And I'm gonna be entirely honest when I say we shouldn't go near dating until some things are reworked. And by reworked, I mean women need to have realistic expectations, and they also need to stop, I don't know, hating men. That might be a good start. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button and consider subscribing to stay up to date with all the latest content. And share the channel with your friends. It helps the channel grow. Have a great day, everyone.